What's up, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Essence of Lex, and I'm here today to bring you a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, the season 4 finale. I think the episode was called "Make Him Great," and this episode, if y'all see me looking down, it's because I have notes, because this is my very first review of a series or a show or reaction or whatever you want to call it. And I know that if I would have just, tried to review it without notes, I was going to forget something. So this is spoiler alerts. What I'm going to be reviewing will, give you some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out on BET, Tyler Perry's Sistas. It continued from the previous episode where the woman that gave Zach the stock tip wanting to have sex with Zach to keep her from talking to the SEC. And I just think that is crazy. Leave it to Tyler Perry to come up with some craziness. I think that's crazy, But what's crazy is that Zach is so silly. He kept calling that woman ma'am, and he said something about her silk robe with flowers on it or something. I died laughing at that part because he kept calling her ma'am and something about what he's supposed to do with a silk robe and some flowers on it. So that part had me cracking up. And what's crazy is she should feel offended. I think she felt offended, or she said something like, am I that? I don't know. That might have been towards the end of the episode. Anyway, she was like, Zach basically told her, I'm in love. I can't do this type thing. And she was like, that's cute or whatever. I was in love and my husband divorced me or something like that. She's bitter. I think right now in the stage she's bitter that her husband is divorcing her. So, hey, she's trying to take Zach on down with her. And it was and then I think it got to the point to where she kept saying I'm going to tell the SEC on you. And Zach basically told her I don't care. I'm not. What he said, he done been through it all. And I was just, and that is so true, because it seems like Zach just can't catch a break. Every time something good happened with Zach, it's just boom. It's he get pushed back some steps. So I truly believe he done been through it all. And I just really want my boy Zach to catch a break. I really do. He's really, really trying. And man, Tyler Perry, give him a break in season 5. Give him a break. So the next scene is with Fatima and Andy. And if you watch Sistas, you know that for the most part, no, I would say all the time, Fatima is on it when it comes to her work. She's on it. Every time Andy say, hey, could you finish preparing this or do this? It's always done. It's always done. It's always done. You've never seen her out of her element when it came to work. Now you will see her go a little crazy when she's talking to Andy in Andy's office, or she'll lose their professionalism with Hayden and all of that. But for the most part, when it came to her work, she's always on it. But in this episode, she's not herself. She's stressed. The previous episode, Hayden said something about the SEC and getting Zach in trouble or whatever. So she's I think she's panicking. And which I think she did say that in the episode, she's trying not to panic, but she's panicking or something like that. So, and Andy notices, Fatima was flipping through folders or some papers or something. It was something you can just tell that she was off her game, and Andy knows her. So Andy, just ask her what's up, what's going on, this is unlike you type thing. And I don't know if this was my favorite scene of the episode or another scene that I'll talk about later. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to decide by the end of this video. But like the conversation that Andy and Fatima have at work in this episode was, I think, absolutely real. It was authentic. It was needed. It was, if it's not the best scene of this episode, it's probably the second best of the episode. But I really truly love that this scene was in this episode. So it started out with basically, you know, for Andy asking Fatima, like, what's going on with you? Like, dude, Hayden really got you stressed type thing. And it's like, you can tell Fatima wants to talk about it. You can tell that that Fatima wants to kind of like talk about it, but she necessarily don't want to talk to Andy about it because of how close, you know, her and Karen is. Karen is Andy's best friend. They're sisters. And so Andy makes the statement, what did she say? She said, like, I promise I won't tell Karen type thing. And in the previous season, as Zach and Fatima relationship, you know, as they started to get closer and eventually got into a relationship and whatnot, I had always said that I really don't think that Fatima and Andy are really going to be able to maintain their friendship and continue to build upon their friendship and their sisterhood, just simply because Fatima is dating Zach and Zach is Andy's best friend, Karen X or whatever. You know, if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. So I always said that I really don't know if they're continuing to be able to successfully build their sisterhood and their friendship for that reason alone. But as season went on and as episodes went on, I kind of see that they probably can. And this episode, I think, made me realize it even more that they probably can. You know, yeah, that they probably can. It was a very sister moment that the both of them had, and I think that Andy is not so much caring about being in the middle, so to speak. So that scene really, I think, was really good. That's one of the reasons I think that scene was really good. And then, like I said, they had a very honest conversation. So Fatima decided not to tell Andy the details that she know about Zach and Stock, but she did continue to say, well, I want to talk to you about Karen type thing. And in the previous episode, Karen shows up to Zach's house. Zach, and it's Zach's house, but Zach has asked Fatima to move in with him. So in essence, they both stay there. So Karen showed up at the house unannounced. Zach comes, it's the previous episode, so yeah. But anyway, I really think that Fatima has been sparing Karen. Like, even in the previous episode, I really don't think that she went as hard as she should so that Karen can get it. But yeah, I really think she has been sparing Karen for two main reasons. One, of course, Andy. Two is because she knows how Karen feels. She went into a little bit of detail there was a scene with Zach where she talked about her previous ex and how she became so closed off in a sense. So I think that's one of the reasons too, is that she knows how Karen feels. She's been in Karen's shoes, so she knows how it feels. So she's been trying to be patient and understand and all of those things, but I think she's over it at this point. Like, Karen is doing too much. If I say so myself, she's doing entirely too much. So she tells Andy that like she almost caught one type of thing, and then Andy said something like, what did she say? She said like, why do you wake up choosing violence? And I really don't think she wakes up like that. I think she tries her hardest to like not let that crazy side come out. I think people pulled it out of her. Like Hayden, he pulled it out of her. Like she really was trying to like not, you know. Karen, she really is trying. I think people are making the crazy come out of her. Like I think people are trying her. So now she's in go mode. She's ready for whatever type thing. So I don't think she chooses violence like Andy said. I just think that she's fed up with certain people. So it comes off that way. But I don't think she just wake up choosing violence. I think people mess with her and, you know, when she respond. But anyway, yeah, so she basically was trying to tell Andy, like, get your friend type thing. Like, get your friend. She's out of pocket. Andy agreed. She said, I already talked to her. She already regretted and all of that. And then Andy brings up the other baby mama, the second baby mama. Well, it would technically be the first baby mama because this baby is older than the baby, and Karen haven't even had her baby yet or whatever. So, yeah. So, and then Fatima started laughing. So that went on and led into a conversation to where, like, Andy is basically asking her, like, really? 2 baby mamas? Like, this is really what you want? Like, this is what you want to do type thing? And the smile that is on Fatima's face says it all. Like, she goes on to say that she loves Zach and all of these things, and that she don't even know if, you know, this baby is his or whatever, but she's rocking with Zach. She's riding with Zach. And I think rightfully so. I think that, you know, it took Fatima a while to, as they say throughout the show, go all in. But once she committed and went all in, I think she's going to ride until the wheels fall off. And I hope that, you know, the show, that they do ride off into the sunset. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, anything like that. But, you know, I think rightfully so. Once she made up her mind, basically, that she was all in, she's rocking with it. She's gonna roll. She's gonna ride with it until she can't ride it no more. And basically, that's what she told Andy, because Andy gave this, like, well, first, Fatima starts to go into that Zach mom is horrible. Now, they don't really go into detail about Zach mom, but you can kind of get the glimpse that she wasn't great. So, yeah, Fatima said Zach's mom is horrible, and basically that Zach has never had a woman like her, and she think that basically she can make him great. So this is where it really got interesting, and like a real conversation happened that, you know, that happens every day. And, you know, needs to be talked about if it's not talked about, you know, and it probably is talked about. But yeah, anyway. So when Fatima said something about he never had a woman like her type thing, Andy, there was this kind of, I took it as there was this kind of look that she gave as to where, like, she thinks Zach had, basically she think Karen is a good woman and that Zach had that type thing. It's just this look that she gave that kind of, I took it as like, he had Karen too type thing, and he still didn't do right, or or whatever type thing. That's how I took it when she gave that look. And then Fatima caught on to the look. So she asked her, like, so what's that about or whatever. So Andy gave an analogy about a fixie up a car. Some story about, I don't know if it was her first car or whatever, just basically a fix upper car that she truly loved. She put a lot of money and time into it, and I think it was a great analogy. But basically, she put a lot of time, money, effort into making this car all beautiful. And every time she got out there on the road to drive it, it just kept breaking down, kept breaking down, kept breaking down. And basically, she said something. I wrote it down. She said, basically, and I quote, "Me wanting to make it better wasn't worth it," unquote. So basically, and then Fatima confidently says that Zach is worth it. She confidently says that Zach is worth it. And from my, I'm not the writer. Tyler Perry is the writer, and you know he's gonna do what he want to do. But I think Zach is worth it. I honestly do think Zach is worth it. And but this leads me to go into, before I continue, you know, with the rest of the story, let's just talk about the potential in a man, or the potential in a woman, or whatever. You know, just keep it neutral. When you see potential in a person, like you meet this person, you know, they might not have it all together. They might be struggling here or there, or whatever the case may be. But you vibe with them, you like them, you're feeling them, or whatever. And although, like, in that current moment, they might not be the best, but you see the potential. The potential is there. And I think a lot of women do this. They see the potential in a man, and they kind of, in a way, they fall in love. I don't know how to put this. It's like they see the potential in the man, and then they kind of think to themselves, you know, basically they fall in love with that potential. You know, they fall in love in what this man can be, and can thrive to be, and can succeed to be, and or whatever the case. They basically fall in love with the potential that man has. And then, you know, they give their all in whatever way, however way you want to take that, whether it's money, whether it's their time, whether it's their heart, whether it's their body, whatever. You know, a woman sees the potential in a man and give everything they got. I mean, literally, they give everything, 110% that they got. And because they see the potential. But then in the end, the potential never quite, you know, how do you say this? Like, in the end, it's still potential. You don't put all of this effort, all of this time, all of this money into a person, and you get down to the end where it has broken you to the core. And it's still just potential. So a woman thinking that they can make a man better, or that they can make them change, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes in the end, it don't work like that. In the end, the potential that they always saw in that man. And I tried to keep this, you know, inclusive in a sense, but I know that it happens a lot with women. Not saying that it doesn't. We just keep it. I'm trying to keep it as you know, gender inclusive as I can. But let's just keep it on the aspects of sisters on the show. You know, you think you can make them better, you think you can change and all of that, and in the end, it never panned out the way that you thought. And the potential that you saw in the beginning, they never turn into that potential. So I say that to say, you know, sometimes we fall in love with potential. The potential, it could be a potential this or a potential that, and sometimes we can kind of sort of let ourselves down because this person never amounts to the potential that we thought they could be. So yeah, basically that's what happened in that scene. Andy supported her, which, like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier in the video, is that I originally thought that their friendship and their sisterhood wouldn't, you know, develop because of Karen. But like I said, I think this scene was a true testament that they truly do have a bond and they are working on a sisterhood, even if it's just between those two and not the rest of the girls. I think them two together, you know, they are working on and building their sisterhood. So what happens next? I think Bayo and Sabrina, they run into each other at the coffee shop, and he was showing her pics of Danny and how people back home where he's from looks like her and his tribe. I don't know, that I guess the story is developing there. I don't know what Tyler Perry is doing with Bayo and Sabrina. That's all I have to say about that. Then I guess it goes into the cop and the detective. Still, I don't know what Tyler Perry is doing there with the detective. I don't know if that's, I guess that's a story developing with him and Danny. So don't really have much to say about that. What happens next? Let's see. Gary. Now, I think as viewers, sometimes I'll speak for me. Sometimes I look at Gary and just like, he is so handsome. His chocolate self. He's so fine. But he's crazy. Yep, he's crazy, and I'm tired of him. I'm definitely tired of him. I'm tired of Hayden. I don't know if we need to write them off the show or what, but I'm tired of both of them. Yep. I'm definitely tired of Hayden the most. Gary too. Right now, I don't know if I'm tired of, I think Karen would be 3. Hayden, Gary, Karen. Tired of all 3 of them. I very much am. And yeah, because, you know, he is crazy. Literally, like crazy. Him and Hayden. I can see why that's his lawyer. He show up at Andy's, at the law firm or whatever, and Fatima sees him or whatever and says she doesn't want to see you, and he goes in to say, I'm here for my lawyer and not her type thing. And Hayden is his lawyer, as we saw in earlier episodes. So he goes into Hayden's office, and Now, I'm no lawyer. I did not go to school for law. Not interested in law very deeply, but how in the hell can he sue Andy for the apartment and car he got her? How? Come on now. How? That makes no sense. Anybody will tell you that if they gave you something, it is a gift. If you gave her something, especially you gave her the car and the condo or the penthouse in her name, how in the hell can you sue her? And what killed me was Hayden said something about Gary can sue her for pain and suffering. Andy needs to be suing Gary for pain and suffering. How in the hell can Gary sue Andy for pain and suffering? I'm just like, okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of Gary. Tired of Hayden, like I said. Like, I don't know. We'll see in season 5, but I'm tired of both of them. He can't sue her for no pain and suffering. If anything, Andy need to be suing him for pain and suffering, for all the pain and suffering she's been through since they met. So the next scene, I think Zach and Jake is talking about the lady that gave him the stock tip blackmailing him. And I can't remember her name. What is her name? I can't remember the woman that gave him the stock tip name right now. But yeah. And Fatima, I think Jake is a good dude. Fatima is kind of hesitant about Jake, I think, just because of Gary. But I think Jake is a good dude. He's proven that he can be trusted. So this is another favorite scene of mine. And it's not the best scene, but it was a good scene and I liked it because Zach and Jake is talking or whatever, and Fatima came and scared the shit out of both of them. She scared the shit out of Zach and Jake. So much so Zach ass was stuttering when he saw her, like he literally ass was stuttering. So basically Fatima walked in on him telling Jake that the woman is blackmailing him and that basically she won't tell the SEC if he sleep with her. Now, from that scene, the only thing that's really important is that basically Fatima told him, like, something about, I bet you better go sleep with her or something like that. She told him. And when she said that, I was like, she got something up her sleeve. She's doing something behind the scenes, or she got something, because ain't no way. She don't want nobody to have him. The way she just smiled and talked about him in that office with Andy, and the way that she still, 2 baby mamas, potentially. And I say potential because we still don't know if neither one of them is his, but still 2 baby mamas, and the smile she still have on her face about him, and when she talks about him, she don't want nobody to have him. So I knew then that, I don't know what she was doing or what she got working on, but she was working on something, and she didn't really mean go sleep with that white woman. It's crazy because Zach said something like, what did he say? He said, I will fuck the shit out of this white woman or something like that. And I bust out laughing. Like, that scene was hilarious. Yeah, so what's the next scene? Let's see. I think it goes to Karen and Pam in the shop. Now, Pam, we don't see her every episode, but she's, I would say a regular at times. I think, she works at Karen's shop. What will be her position at the shop, though? Other than being in everybody's business. I can't remember, but she basically works at the shop or whatever. And I think she should have been fired a long time ago, because she ain't never doing no work. She always in people's business. Just, whew. But even though through all of that, I think she still cares for Karen. So that's probably why she's still there. Because Karen's at work and she started, not feeling whatever, and then she started bleeding. Now, I know that you can, sometimes it could be a miscarriage and sometimes it could be not. It could just be stress that's causing her to bleed, or whatever. So that's how they ended the season 4 finale, with her bleeding. So we don't know any more than that. And next scene, Danny and Preston. Preston is going home, so he stopped at he's at the airport. Danny works at the airport, and basically just telling her this, that, and third. That's how they ended the season with them. I like Danny and Preston together. I really do, and I hope that's not the last of them that we'll see in the next season. But I don't know what is the problem why Danny and Preston is not together. I honestly don't know. I know something about they don't have much in common in all of this. I honestly can say I honestly don't know why Danny is mad at Preston. I don't know. And I don't know if it's just because it's not something that I personally would be mad at, or if I'm just not following the story there. I just know that I think they are really good together. And they challenge each other. And I think Danny is basically pushing him away. Like, he tried. I think he tried so many different things, and it just, I don't know. Danny might be scared. I don't know. We'll see where Tyler takes that, what Tyler takes them to, but eventually I hope they get together, because I think they really are a good match. Better than, what's his name? Better than the cop detective, and better than, the Fuego man that's on, the stripper that's on All Queens Men. Yeah, so hopefully, Danny and Preston is not open. So, let's talk about how the episode ended. Well, there's another scene after this one, but remember earlier I said I couldn't decide if the scene with Andy and Fatima, if it was the best, or if this scene right here that I'm finna talk about. This is when Zach comes back to the lady that gave him the stock tip hotel room. Belinda, is that her name? I think Belinda. I don't know. Did I just pull that out of a hat? I don't know. I can't remember the lady that gave him the stock tip name. Anyways, I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what her name is. But Zach comes back. He's trying to pump himself up to sleep with this woman, this old woman, this white woman with damn robes, with flowers on the robes. So he's drinking. She's telling him, like, get naked, and he's trying, and Zach can do it. So he goes to proceed to walk out of the hotel room, and who's at the door? Fine ass Fatima. Fatima is at the door, and I knew it was about to go down. Baby, Fatima is bad as fuck, and I love her. I love her. Like, literally, I love Fatima. And if you don't know, her name is Krista Renee, who plays Fatima. I love Fatima, and I love Krista Renee. She bad as fuck. And so she comes in and sits on the woman bed. I said, this finna be, man, listen. She sits on the woman bed, and then the woman says something like, who are you? And she basically say, I'm Zach Woman. And then she said, I'm not into threesome. And I was like, threesome? Zach don't even want to sleep with you, baby. You don't even have a twosome right now. Like, what? How you assume they finna do a threesome? Zach and Fatima laughed at that. And basically Fatima said, I'm not interested. And basically said, Zach not interested either. Fatima then went and did her research. what she said, she'll verify. She likes to say she gonna verify and look into it. She verified and basically was just trying to, she's blackmailing Zach. So she was like, okay, well, you getting a divorce from your husband. What if he knows about this? Or what if the people in your small town knows about this and knowing what you're doing type thing? And basically got the woman scared, But no, what I forgot to say is that, what did she say? She said, before she went into how she was going to blackmail her back, she said something like, I can stand here and help him get it up for you. And the woman was like, really? You can do that? Like, she was finna be for it. Like, and Fatima was like, yeah, he gets that way by just looking at me type thing. So once Fatima finished laying down what she know and what she found out about it when she was doing her research, she said, but one of the favorite lines is like, I'm not the type of bitch that whisper. I do it press conference style. I said, what the? You better tell her. You better tell her. She said she do it press conference style. Oh, I love that line. I love that line. And basically just, the scene itself was really good. Fatima did a thing. Zach in the background, he did his thing. He making all these faces. They have great chemistry. Zach and Fatima have they have great chemistry. So, and it comes through on the screen. So they some clowns. So I think that scene was really good. And basically she basically showed her like, my man off limits. My man is off limits, and keep your mouth shut or I'm gonna whoop the whoop the whoop type thing. So that's how that scene ended. And then I think it was another scene to where the cop detective showed up at the bank to lock up Maurice and Sabrina, and that's how season 4 ended. The whole bank thing is not making sense to me. I guess we're gonna have to find out in season 5, but it don't make sense to me. I don't even understand how I can't think of his name right now either, how he robbed the bank, but he don't made a deal with the DEA that if he get Maurice or Sabrina, I don't know. It don't make no type of sense at all. But I guess we shall find out in season 5. Let's see. Best scene of the episode. I'm still like 50-50 here. Because of course it's between, like I said, the scene with Fatima and Andy at the office, and they're having a real, true, raw, and authentic conversation, or if it's the scene in the scene with Zach, Fatima, and I honestly think that woman's name is Belinda. Yeah, I think her name is Belinda, but if not, the woman that gave him the stock tip, that would be runners up. So if I had to say the best scene of the episode that I truly love the most, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Fatima and Andy. That raw and authentic conversation they had, because it resonated with me on some personal levels, and just it also resonated with me just how raw and authentic that they were, because like I said, it's basically a sisterhood that they are building that I also resonate with, that I love. And it's basically just like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this, that, and the third type thing. You gonna listen. You gonna tell me what you want to tell me and back into what I say, and you gonna make up your decision. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm still your sister. I'm still gonna support you type thing. I think in essence though, the season 4 finale, for the most part, was about Zach and Fatima, and because it's called Make Him Great, and Fatima thinks that she can make him great. So I think they ended season 4. If you don't know, Zach and Fatima got a spinoff called Zatima that I've been looking at, and it's supposed to come out in the fall sometime. And also, Sistas 5 is supposed to come out October 23rd. So I'm not exactly sure how they are going to do this. I don't know if Zatima is going to come first, and then I don't know. But I'm really excited about Zatima. I'm going to be tuned in. Like I said, my favorite... Well, Fatima is my favorite character on the show. Zach is also one of my favorites. So I'm very much interested in the Zatima show and seeing what Tyler Perry do with that. So I can't wait till that airs too. So I think this season 4 was kind of the season 4 finale was kind of a way to kind of, you know, smoothly go into Zatima. I don't know. We'll see. But Sistas is one of the shows that I truly enjoy watching. And I am going to go back and review the previous episodes. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do all seasons or if I'm just going to do the rest of season 4. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of fit it out and go with what I feel, but I will review previous episodes and just give my viewpoint and my opinion. And I kind of want to backtrack anyway, because some episode, it's been a while since I've seen, so I can't remember, you know, certain details. So I think I'm going to go back and review them and see where, and just rewatch it. They say if you rewatch it 2 times, if you rewatch it more than once, every time you kind of notice something that you didn't notice the other times you've seen it. So that's that. I'm excited about Zatima. I'm excited about season 5 Sistas, and I'm excited about, you know, reviewing previous episodes. So thank you for coming and joining me on my bloom journey. Peace.